Hey, what's going on? This is Marcos. Today we're taking a look at the CineView Quad. This is a wireless video transmission system from Accsoon. And just full disclaimer, this product was sent to me for review. All right, so if you look at it, you see how compact and nice it is. The antennas are built in, so you can just pop them open. This is great about this. No need to screw in antennas, which takes a little bit longer. And also, my fear is always that I'm gonna lose them because you misplace them or somehow. But this is all built in. So you just pop them up. There it is. This has a range of about 500 feet, direct line of sight. Of course, if there's walls, that range decreases, which is fine for me because most of the time when I'm using this, I'm only a couple feet away from the wireless director's monitor. So perfectly fine. You can connect up to 4 iPad or phone devices if you use the Accsoon app, which is great. I've used that as well. It works awesome. You can power it with Sony MPF or with the DC out, which is what I often end up using. I power my camera, my monitor, and the transmitter via the DC and DTAP, okay? And then on this side, you see it supports both SDI and HDMI. This is one of my favorite features because often I'm asked to pipe my camera. In this case is the Red Komodo. It only has SDI into a Zoom call and using a capture card. And the capture card I have is only HDMI. So instead of running a wire all the way to the capture card and where the laptop is, I can just pop this on and this will convert the signal to HDMI so it can go into the capture card. No need to get a converter from SDI to HDMI. So which is awesome, saves me a lot of time also not having to run a wire. So I've used it that way. So SDI, HDMI, you can mix and match. So going from SDI to HDMI or HDMI camera to SDI monitor, you can do that. All right, so this is what it looks like. I mean, compact, you can quickly put it away. One thing that I gotta let you know about is make sure they're both on the same group, otherwise they won't connect. When you power it on, it automatically connects. I had an issue with not connecting and then I'm like, what's going on? It wasn't set to the same group. So make sure that that's there. I like to put a label. This goes on the camera because it's a transmitter, has a T right there. R is for receiver. It goes on the monitor. Sometimes I end up also, that's another thing I mess up is just putting the receiver on the camera. And so you gotta make sure you put them in the right place. Often ends up happening to me. Anyways, I'm gonna pop this on a wireless director's monitor. I'm gonna show you exactly how it works. So this right here is my wireless director's monitor. You can see here, this is the Accsoon receiver and I'm powering it with my V-mount from SmallRig. This is really cool because I can give this to a director and they can see the image I'm looking at on my camera. Or sometimes when I'm setting up an interview, I can bring this with me and make adjustments, let's say to the background, and like I can look at it instead of having to walk all the way back to the camera. So it's really cool to have something like this. It's nice and portable. So the first thing I want to test out is the latency, right? Because you're probably curious about, can you pull focus with this? And like I just mentioned, I'm not often using it for that purpose. I'm just using it for reference. So you can see there's a little bit of latency. If you need 0 latency, you're gonna have to drop a couple thousands of dollars in order to get to that point. If you look at the back of the Accsoon, I have it set to normal, which is usually what I'm running. If you set it to high, the image quality on the monitor is much better, but the latency increases. If you set it to speed, there's less latency, but the image quality suffers. So I just keep it at normal. And like I said, another thing I love about this is that right now, you're seeing the image, right? And I'm shooting with the Red Komodo, which only has SDI, and I'm connecting the SDI to the transmitter. But the receiver, this monitor has only HDMI. So it's actually converting the signal to HDMI, which is really nice, like I mentioned, for connecting this Komodo, which only has SDI, to through a capture card to Zoom call, which I'm often asked to do. And I don't have to get like one of those physical wires in a box that switches the signal from SDI to HDMI. I can do it with this. So really useful for that feature alone. I would say if you're gonna try to do like really precise focus pulling, then maybe this is not the device for you. This is priced at $529. So your expectations have to adjust, right, to what you're doing. For me, most of the time it's just for referencing the image. So this is perfect. Other than that, it's just nothing much to say. I just gotta say, like, the only, I guess, thing that I had to troubleshoot was when it was not connecting to my monitor, to the monitor. I was like, what's going on? But it was the group. I had set the wrong group. It was a different group on this than it was on the transmitter. So that was the only issue. The app itself works great because, you know, I was using this with my with the focus puller, and then the director wanted to look at an image, so I had him download the Accsoon app, connect to the transmitter, and they could see the image right on their phone, and it was perfect. And you can connect up to 4 devices. You can also get, let's say, an iPad and do it that way if you want a bigger image to look at without doing something like this. Okay, so if you have any questions about this setup, anything I forgot to talk about, I'd love to hear from you. You can drop questions or comments down below. As always, I appreciate you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.